I'm RJ Sampson, and I'm a software engineer. When I was a kid, I was very fascinated with video games, and that kind of translated over to being interested in technology. I got really involved with Linux when I was 13. There was a program when I was going to school called the See the Future Fund. And through that program, I ended up getting a laptop that I could use for school. And because my brother had always used Linux, one of the first things that I did was I installed Ubuntu on it. Participating in open source has really been foundational to not only my engineering philosophy, but my career as well, because, well, like that's how I got to Chainguard. That's ultimately what led me here. You know, to ultimately respect that people come from all of these different backgrounds, that they were doing different things previously. I think we all really love the technology, and that's what really drives us to work in software engineering. I would say the scope of the problems that I solve on a daily basis at Chainguard kind of they shift day to day. So like at one point, I could be focused on improving the ecosystem around AI/ML packages and images. At some point, I could be focused on improving our test coverage. I could be focused on writing tooling. I get to focus on new problems every single day. Microsoft changed how they were tagging .NET out of their .NET GitHub repository. And to accommodate that, essentially what I had to do is write a custom tagger module for the .NET runtime and the ASP.NET runtime that essentially mapped the version of the SDK, which is what they use to tag the .NET repository with now, to the runtime version. So like you might have .NET SDK 9.0.303, and that might align with .NET runtime 9.0.1 or something like that. And I had to write a tagger to make that correlation so that we were tagging images properly for customers. I wouldn't say that when it comes to writing code or anything like that, there's a sensory relationship there between how I code and being visually impaired that makes it stand out in any sort of way. I think it largely comes down to wanting to build things and provide things that are built as efficiently as possible, and the joy that I get from testing things and validating that things work, and automating things, making things simpler. I would say that's really what's core and what's really important to me.